YouTube, what the crap's going on? Sorry, I forgot to change over my broadcaster. There we go. This is the Heir of Carthage, of course, and I'm going to be showing you the 2v2 battle that I played in this last Heirs Weekend Warrior. There was actually a siege battle we fought as well, but I didn't get to finish it, so I don't have a replay. But it was lagging pretty hard. Obviously, though, it was going to go in favor of our of my enemies. In this case, it's a Macedon and Iceni, and the rules in this too, I asked people which faction they wanted me to play, so the first opponent who joined the game wanted me to play as Macedon, so I played as Macedon. I've got a fairly cav-heavy army with swords, and I was actually kind of planning to rush. And one of the people in the chat on the Weekend Warriors chat while this thing was live was like, "Heir, don't forget archers just in case there's elephants." Oh man, good decision. So I brought 2 units of standard archers, and if we hadn't, we would have been in huge trouble. 2 Roman elephant units, and then 1 Carthaginian elephant unit. And the Romans have brought a line of armored legionnaires, which is going to be really hard to beat. These guys even have upgrades. So 61 attack on these armored legionnaires, and they have 80 armor. That is ridiculous. These guys are strong. But Evocati cohort are even more insane. I want to say they have like 85 armor. They're just utterly ridiculous. Yeah, there we go. And he's got some Syrian archers too. I want to say 3 units of Syrian archers. Yeah, his 2 auxiliary elephants, and then he's only got 1 other cav unit, which is this legionary cav. And then the Carthaginian player's got a line of Libyan infantry. He's got 2 units of Italian swords, or let's see, Italian swordsmen, mercenary Scutari, and another Scutari. His general's bodyguard. He's got an African elephant, 2 Carthaginian cav, and I know he's got 2 mercenary Campanian cav as well. So he's come pretty cav strong. So the idea was that we would rush 1 player, but the problem is with the elephants up there, it's actually going to make rushing really difficult. So our plan's not going to go very well here because rushing up against these elephants is going to be very challenging. Very challenging indeed. Some horse archers would have been perfect for this situation because we could have run off his elephants from a distance. The Roman is the one who's going to make the first move here because we were going to rush, but then ended up having to slow down. And the Roman's going to bring his elephants in just straight off. And he's just going to go for a mass elephant charge. And it's on this side of the battlefield where I've got my Royal Peltist, which is, I just hate this. Because my Royal Peltist are the most expensive infantry units I have. I probably should have just traded them with 2 of my Thorax swords and brought them out here. But yeah, so I need to stop the Roman elephants. And infantry's not going to stop them unless it's pikes. So I just go ahead and bring my Thessalian cav in. They have a bonus versus large. They're not a very powerful unit, but they have a huge charge. And if I engage trample, I should be able to get a pretty powerful charge on the elephants, cause a little bit of damage, and stop them. So here I'm going to deliver the charge to the elephants, and again, you can see they get stopped entirely, and I'm running my archers over to start getting shots, because all I need to do is just hold them. The Roman releases his war dogs into the fray. The war dogs probably won't do too great, but it's just all those extra dogs in there, and then see my teammate does a great job getting these spear nobles in place. His spear nobles got trampled pretty hard to start off with there. But they've now stopped the elephants, and they've got them under control. Cavalry counter tactics, it's going to be super helpful. So good save by my teammate and I to get rid of the Roman elephants early here with fairly minimal losses. But yeah, you can see the Roman elephants are pretty much gone. I did lose 1 Thessalian cav that should come back, and then this other elephant unit is going to go down pretty quick too. Yeah, this one routes, and then this one starts going down, and it starts to route too, and it kind of gets out of my archer range, and I didn't chase it because we had Romans incoming. Unfortunately, this elephant's going to come back from routing later on. Now we just needed to handle the Carthaginian elephants, and we might have a chance, but it's still going to be a tough fight because, in all honesty, Carthage and Rome are just better factions than the Iceni and Macedon. I mean, there's just no question. Both of them are better factions. Now, it's not to say that, you know, these factions used properly can't win. They certainly can, but I mean, advantage is definitely with Rome and Carthage just from a strength of roster and unit price, you know, value for price and all that kind of stuff. Macedon's not bad because they have the Thorax swordsman. It was a huge help to them. And back when Thessalian cav were a little more dangerous, before they took away all their melee defense, these guys were a pretty darn effective cav unit too. Now, really, the only thing they're good for is rear charges, and that's why I brought them. I was hoping to rear charge some enemy infantry. And then I brought my citizen cav for more of the grind-out kind of cav fight because these guys will last a little longer. Yeah, here comes a Carthaginian cav. Here's his mercenary Campanian cav and another one. Between his elephants and these mercenary Campanian cav, he's got some very serious cavalry power here. And look, I've got my guys in shield wall and everything, but his Campanian Cav's going to charge in and gets 10 kills right off the bat anyway, even with all the bracing. And then his elephants are going to come in, and it's just going to be weighted numbers here, or scare effect. I did run his elephants amok briefly, hoping that it would kill some of his mercenary Campanian Cav, but of course it doesn't. And his elephants now just run amok all over the place. So I think we will end up getting to kill some of his Libyans here. Nope. His units didn't get killed even though the elephants were running amok, so I kind of just wasted my time apparently running them amok. They're no longer running amok now, though. They're back under his control, but now I have my archers coming to bear on him. But my Thorax Swordsman is already routing, even though it's got almost 120 men left. It finally stabilized there because this chosen spear band was behind me. Yeah, you can see that the Carthaginian infantry getting intercepted by the Iceni infantry. The Carthaginian players already popped Ray's banner. And then look, these Roman elephants are back now, bearing down on my other flank. But yeah, just doing my best to get rid of the Carthaginian elephants. None of them have died yet because I've had to reposition my archers because his Campanian Cav just nearly busted through to my archers. And I've got a Citizen Cav and a Thorax Sword in their way, and these guys are still just doing a fantastic job. And you can see here that this Thorax Swordsman does end up routing with about half its numbers left. Still, we've taken down one elephant unit so far, that's it. And then, again, look at this mercenary Campanian Cav, surrounded by my infantry and everything else, and still just fighting its way right on through my Citizen Cav. It's the scare effect from the elephants that's hurting me, too. They scare all the nearby units, and my general was routed, or is way over here on this flank, so he can't support. But yeah, see the Carthaginian elephants still just continuing to do their thing, and I'm, even with Ray's banner and rally, my men are just routing with a ton of men left because of the scare effect from the elephants, and they're outflanked right here. This is causing a flanking penalty along with it. So it's just a dangerous situation. But the Carthaginian elephants are dead, but the Roman elephants came back just in time to wreck my general, which is horrible for me. This is the last thing you want to see, is an expensive infantry unit getting flank charged by elephants. So their kills just fly right on up. And these elephants here are going to end up being extremely cost-effective. My teammate brings in his chosen spear band one more time to finish off these elephants for good, but not before it's pretty much too late for my my general's unit of Royal Peltis. They get completely creamed. But fortunately, the elephants are down, and they're no longer going to be playing a role in this fight. So now it's going to end up being a pretty close fight. My Thorax Swordsmen are kind of holding the line against the Carthaginian infantry. Thorax Swords have really good armor. I think it's a little better than the Libyan infantry. Let's see, 65. Nope, the same. Melee defense is a little better on my guys. Attack is better on the Carthaginian infantry, even without the chevrons. We are starting to turn around some of the fights just a little bit. These heroic nobles out here doing a good job, along with these sword band. And we've got some sword band still in reserve here. The Carthaginian elephants still not quite entirely gone, unfortunately, so that scare effect stuck around for quite a long time. They're now gone. So there's still a lot of Roman infantry left, though. There's an untouched armored legionnaire out here, and an armored legionnaire here that's going to beast away these chosen spear band. And we just don't have a whole lot of way to stop these armored legionnaires. Sword band are going to be absolutely no match for them. Armored legionnaires are just going to absolutely wreck these guys. Their formation attack, they've got extremely good stats. There's units like armor. I'd love to see armored legionnaires in Avocati cohort well, I'd like to see armored legionnaires just get a massive price increase, because they're like late period units. And check it out here. I rear charge the Romans, and my guys rout while rear charging. My Royal Peltis did get into the front of these armored legionnaires, and the Royal Peltis will do fairly good here. Not real good, though, because the armored legionnaires are just, again, a little more cost-effective. Yeah, I got my general in here. The fighting's gonna start going. It's gonna be pretty vicious fighting, actually. Two pretty titanic sword units here, duking it out. And under normal circumstances, a Royal Peltis would win this fight, but there's two armored legionnaires, and my general was already somewhat damaged before he got into the fight, and these armored legionnaires were upgraded. So it means that my Royal Peltists are going to get beat down some. 59 melee defense versus 49 is a big difference. Yeah, it's a big difference. Royal Peltists have more weapon damage, but again, also outnumbered. So all in all, they came back and got some kills against these armored legionnaires, but then my general is going to get killed. and it was before I could get a rear charge in. Like, if I would have been able to get a rear charge or something a little sooner, then might have been able to do something. I came out here and killed one of his Syrian archer units, but the others just sat there, and you can see arrows stuck to the trees and everywhere else. His Syrian archers just mow down my citizen cav. That was a waste of cav. His archers were too far away from the fight to really affect it anyway. So I should have just left his archers alone and focused in here on destroying what's left of the Carthaginians. So I do start doing that. Rear charge these Carthaginians and trying to get rid of this Libyan infantry. There's a heroic rider and a citizen cav. It's got these guys sandwiched. But the Roman's going to bring his armored legionnaires in, so I'm going to pull out. Yeah, I think armored legionnaires need a pretty big price increase. Those guys need to be at least 1,100 talents, in my opinion, just because of their stats. Their stats are insane. And then Evocati cohort only costs like 880. And personally, I don't mind the Evocati cohort if they were capped to like 1 per army, but they're not. So Roman infantry is already really dang good. So I think Evocati cohort should cost about, oh man, they should be at least 1,050, maybe 1,100 as well. And they'd still be a pretty good bargain because there's no other sword units on the game with those kind of stats for that price. Yeah, you can see my cavalry just got mowed down by the second rank of Syrian archers. Archers are pretty good against cavalry. Now we did get some routes going over here though. We route the Carthaginian general, we route this Libyan infantry, so we're starting to turn things around actually. There's still quite a few Romans left though. It's going to be a bit of a dicey situation. This citizen cav actually just routed a couple of damaged armored legionnaires and then I managed to get it away. So I have cav left, but there's looks like 3 armored legionnaires still on the field. And there's this slinger unit over here that's out of, or no, they're not out of ammo quite yet, but slingers aren't going to be able to do much, if anything, against armored legionnaires, even shooting them in the back. I mean, we're lucky we're getting any kills on those guys. So, yeah, slingers just don't have the armor piercing. Britain's slinger's not bad for the price, but anyway, I'm going to try and get rid of these armored legionnaires. You're going to get a little taste of just how good these guys are here. So, a 900 talent unit, or 9-something, versus 710 or 20. Cav in their back, completely surrounded. Watch what happens. This armored legionnaire is just going to nearly win still. Charged again with more cav, completely surrounded. Watch how long these guys last in this fight. I bring in even more thorax swords for an out-of-formation rear charge. You're going to see right here why I think these guys need to cost more. So again, a 900-something talent unit versus everything else here, and look at it just beasting its way right on through like nothing's wrong. And so I bring in a volley of flaming arrows to try and get them to rout, and it actually is just going to end up probably hurting me more than them, because the Romans have some pretty strong morale. But yeah, look at this, just, I mean, utterly surrounded sword band, veteran riders, thorax swordsmen, citizen cav, and these Romans are just sitting pretty. Their morale finally starts to falter a little, but look at this, 69 attack, 80 armor, and look at my 700 talent unit, nowhere close to that, like half of the attack, literally. And then 15 less armor, and then, I mean, the base morale is completely different too, so again, for 200 talents increase in cost, that's a fantastic bargain, and this is one of the reasons why Rome is still kind of a power faction, and it's why I recommend using elephants against Rome, because they get such good infantry that I honestly don't feel bad using elephants against Rome, because they just get such a bargain on all their infantry. Now, I don't mind Roman infantry being good. I would expect it to be. You know, it was some of the premium infantry of the ancient world. So absolutely, I expect it to be good. But I think it's just for the sake of game, you know, they need to help handle it a little. These late Roman units are just extremely powerful. And you can see we finally did manage to rout that one unit of armored legionnaires, but one of my units routes, even though the armored legionnaire routes, and it shattered, and then it just created like an effect on the rest of my men. The rest of them were routing, and that was it. Just like all of our men start wavering all at once, and then they just rout. Even though we probably had enough tools to win the rest of the battle if we played it right. Not necessarily. It would have been challenging. But it was kind of frustrating as the rest of our units routed. But hey, it's a great game. Good job on the part of our opponents, putting up a really tough fight there. I think that everything said and done, if I could have kept my Royal Peltis from getting charged by this elephant, that would have been a huge help. Probably not enough help in the end, because the armored legionnaires were almost equivalent to my Royal Peltis for like 300 less talents, basically. But still, I mean, and again, that's one of the reasons why the Roman infantry is kind of frustrating. Like, even the cheap Roman infantry is very good for the price. And look at the kills on these guys. 231 kills, 211 kills. I mean, just impressive. I don't know how we managed to get rid of or these guys just didn't get into the fight. That's why they've still got other numbers. So, yeah, I mean, basically his 3 units of armored legionnaires did more than pretty much all my infantry put together, like all 6 of these guys. And obviously not anywhere near the same on cost. My Royal Peltis, one of them did pretty good, but not good enough. And the other one, this is the one that got slammed by elephants. Citizen Cav did okay. Thessalian Cav held off the elephants, I guess, which was part of their purpose, but I wasn't able to use them for rear charges, which is where I badly needed them. And I think my archers, even though they didn't get many kills, did a great job because they got rid of so many elephant units, so they came in extremely handy. Now let's take a look at Mr. Cuddle's army. He was my teammate. A couple of his cav units doing pretty good. Scout riders not getting a whole lot, but I didn't watch what they did, so I'm not sure exactly whether or not I'd say it was worth it. These veteran riders not so good. Actually, quite a few kills here on his Briton slingers. Not bad for these 2 units because these are pretty cheap. Maybe I shouldn't have badmouthed them. Chosen Spear Band came in handy, also helping to get rid of elephants. Not a lot of kills though, so not sure if it was cost effective. This Chosen Sword Band and this one tried but didn't do very well, and these guys just got flattened. Looks like his heroic nobles did good. Look at this, though, 100 kills on a unit of sword band. That's fantastic. I don't know what it killed, but whatever it was totally worth it for us. So I'd say that was good. NL Gaming was the one here for Rome that had these legionnaires. I mean, obviously his infantry did fantastic here. German Caesar, look at this Campanian cav right here. Just brutal. These guys crushed my right flank. And his Libyan infantry, some of them did really well right here too. Libyan infantry are pretty good for the price as well. That's why I say that Rome and Carthage ought to have an advantage in this situation. The Iceni and Macedon, they don't have units that are anywhere near as cost effective as what these 2 factions can field. Macedon does have some tools, but not, again, personally, I just think if it's 2 players being equal, Carthage and Rome are better. But it's fun to play these different factions because they all have a different feel. And, it's just one of those challenges. And that's part of the reason why I told people to pick a faction for me today, so it creates that challenge for me. It makes me have to think on my feet and do my best, even if I think that I'm outmatched by an opponent, rather than just playing Bactria versus Parthia in every match. Anyway, HeirofCarthage signing off for now. Hope you all enjoyed Heir's Weekend Warriors. I know it was not quite as many battles as I hope to get in. When I do it next time, I'm going to make a few adjustments. We'll go to the medium funds, medium unit settings, so that hopefully it'll take away the lag factor and we can get more battles in. And then I'll come back and do the replays like normal. I'll try and set up another one with you all soon. Probably not next Saturday, but who knows, maybe the one after I can try and do another one with you all if you enjoyed it. HeirofCarthage signing off for now. I'll see you on the battlefield soon.